It's Tommy fucking Shelby, and today I will show you how a mafia boss controls the room and his emotions. The body language of Michael Cologne. Enjoy.
Hey, Mike. Hello, fellas. Everybody's here. Freddie.
You can already see how he has strong eye contact with everyone. He's passing by and giving a handshake, which is good, very dominant. But you can also see how he instantly shows his teeth, which, if you smile is not instantly a bad thing, but if you do it too often, it's seen as submissive. And if you enter a room and the first thing you do is smile, although the people in there aren't your best friends, it's pretty, it's pretty unnecessary and therefore submissive. So just kind of don't do it too often. Don't smile. Don't show your teeth too often. Smirk instead. But also you can see his posture. It's not perfect. He is walking pretty upright, which is good, but his head is kind of hinged over here. You can see a little, this right here. So not perfect posture. Doesn't look like he is confident by looking everyone in the eyes, but his posture is kind of saying the opposite.
Tom? Good to see you, Mike.
How are you, Mike?
And then right here you can see the handshake. That's probably the best way to make a handshake. Strong eye contact without looking at the hands, and then just a normal handshake. I see a lot of men just doing weird handshakes with like both hands. I don't know if you ever had that kind of thing, but that's weird, bro. Do not use both hands and then like have one on top and one below. That's just a weird handshake. Just do one hand on the other hand and then strong eye contact while doing it. Also, just a firm handshake is very masculine, so you can actually train that. I know it's probably sounds weird now, but if you train it and you have a firm handshake, people will respect you.
All right, you got everything you want? The chef cooked for you special. The dancers will kick your tongue out, and your credit is good. Draw chips for everybody in the room.
You can already see how he's very commanding by just pointing at the people, saying, yeah, do this, do that. That's actually a pretty effective way. If you want something from someone and you point at them, they're more likely to listen to you and do the thing you're saying. Just while you're saying, I don't know, get me a glass of water, point at the person you want it from, and then they will do it. Because if you just say, I want a glass of water, please, nobody knows who you're talking to, so no one will react. So that's a very effective way he's doing right here. And on the other hand, you can see Michael Cologne. I don't really know why he's doing this. His hands are clasped together. That's not really a great look. Just not so much space, and also not a good gesture. You can use the hands more effectively.
So they can play in the house.
And here you can see a very submissive move. So here, right here, just pull the chair out. So that's usually not a bad thing if you do it for a woman. That's just a very gentleman move. But if you do it for another man, it's just very submissive, because I bet this guy can get his chair out by himself. He doesn't need a person for that. So this man right here, puts himself in a lower position automatically by doing this. And also have a look at the hands here. That is kind of, you can see that he's angry. He's kind of emotionally distressed. So he kind of clasps his hands together and kind of boxes his hands here.
My credit good enough to buy you out?
Also have a look at this guy right here. I know that's not the mafia boss himself, but he's doing something I see a lot of men doing. Putting your hands in your pockets. It's not a great look. He's actually putting both of his hands in the pockets. Hiding your hands is never a good thing, and in general, he's making himself small here and hiding his thumbs. It's just, do not put your hands in the pockets unless it's a cold, okay? Otherwise, there's no need for it. It's not cool. It's not a benefit for you body language wise. Just avoid doing it.
Buy me out.
Casino. The hotel. Corleone family wants to buy you out.
Right here, you can see again. He obviously doesn't know what a good posture is. He's kind of hinged over again, kind of to the sides, also submissive if you lean forward. Hands clasped together here, again, not great. And he's just taking up little space by, clasping his hands together and just leaning forward. That's awful posture, okay? Do not sit like this. Just sit like, just upright and then head up. His head is down. It's just not a good look, alright?
Corleone family wants to buy me out. No, I buy you out.
And then here you can see the finger pointer, alright? The finger pointer with one finger is always seen as aggressive. Although you already see that from his voice, he's aggressive. Just the finger pointer itself is a very, very aggressive move. If you point at someone and you don't want them to find it negative, use your whole hand to point at them, because if you use one finger, people tend to dislike you for it and they just dislike the gesture itself.
You don't buy me out.
Your casino loses money. Maybe we can do better.
You think I'm skimming off the top, Mike?
You're unlucky.
You can see how he's nervously looking around. Again, instantly he's getting up. You can see that he's emotional, engaged in it. He's not staying cool here. Also, notice the guy in the back here, he's having his arms folded together. It doesn't, some people say it's self-fuck, it's just for that it's comfortable, but he's taking up little space by doing it, so just don't do it.
You goddamn guineas really make me laugh. I do you a favor.
Instantly he gets completely angry, alright? He's having his emotions not under control at all, okay? He's instantly went up. The conversation pretty much started and he instantly is on 100%, just pointing around with his finger, angry gestures, raising his voice in a unpredictable way. That's not really in a cool way where you're like, okay, listen to me. He's just angry. He lets his emotions control him. That's not a good look. And now you can see soon how Michael Cologne and the opposite is doing it. It's just a whole different story, alright?
Favor, take Freddie in when you're having a bad time.
You can also see how he just looked down for a second. Very submissive. Do not look down.
And then you try to push me out.
Wait a minute. You took Freddie in.
Also have a look at how Freddy, what he does with his mouth.
Really make me laugh. I do you a favor and take Freddie in when you're having a bad time. And then you try to push me out.
Wait a minute.
Right there you can see a lot of emotional distress in his face and his mouth area. That's just, he's stressed, nervous, again looking down, submissive. Definitely not a good look for him. He's pretty much, without saying anything yet, he put himself in the lowest position in the hierarchy here, alright? If that would have been a hierarchy, which is obviously it isn't really, but you just see that he probably won't get any respect from the others just because of his body language, okay? That's the power of body language.
You took Freddie in because the Corleone family bankrolled your casino because...
And that, on the other hand, is a whole different story, right? He raises his voice, but not in the emotional way. He just raises his voice to kind of break even with the other person, alright? With Mo Green here. Mo Green went up emotional, screaming around. He's raising his voice to kind of get on the same level, but not in an emotional way, okay? He's staying cool, but he's raising his voice to kind of be on the same level as him.
The Molinari family on the coast, guaranteed.
And here another gesture, emotional distress here. He's stressed.
His safety. Now we're talking business. Let's talk business.
Yeah, let's talk business, Mike. First of
Here again, alright? Awful posture. Finger pointer here at him. Again, very aggressive. You see how the emotions just take control over him. They take control of his body language. They can take control of his tonality, over the way he looks. It's just very poor way to handle emotions.
First of all, you're all done. The Coyote family don't even have that kind of muscle anymore. The Godfather is sick, right? You're getting...
And you can see how Michael Cologne just stays completely cool. The only thing that's not good about his body language is this hand right here, right? A lot of people probably wouldn't have saw that, but he's fidgeting a lot here. The sign of nervousness. But besides that, he's cool as fuck, alright? He's clean posture, strong eye contact here, and he doesn't let the emotions take control of him. All right, he's just staying cool, quiet, chill. He doesn't care. All right, that's a very good look. But except of this right here, he's pretty much perfect. All right.
Chased out of New York by Barzini and the other families. What do you think?
And then right here, how he broke eye contact by looking down.
Chased out of New York by Barzini and the other families.
Right there, not a great way. Okay, I don't know why he did it, but it's just he looked down. That's not good. You don't want to break eye contact by looking down, especially in a confrontation like that. It's submissive. It's not a good look for him here. Best way he could do is just keep staring at him, strong eye contact. But yeah, that was a little mistake. So that was his second mistake here. So hand fidgeting and looking down.
What do you think is going on here? You think you can come to my hotel and take over? I talked to Barzini. I can make a deal with him and still keep my hotel.
Is that why you slap my brother around in public?
And you can see how cool he stays, alright? Completely emotional conversation here, and he just completely stays cool. Even, is that why you slapped my brother? Again, a very emotional thing. You could say the same thing in complete anger, but he just stays cool. Alright, he's the complete opposite of Mo Green here. He's pretty much making himself a fool by completely letting emotions take control of him, and Michael Corleone just stays cool.
Oh, no, that was nothing.
Then here also the stutters. This man usually doesn't stutter. Obviously, he's already on the bottom of the hierarchy. I don't think I need to explain much about his body language. It's pretty obvious that he's just not talking on the same level as these two are.
Mike, Mo didn't mean nothing by that. Sure, he flies off the handle once in a while, but Mo and me were good.
Here again, he touches this area in the way he did before, emotional stress, alright?
Friends, right, Mo, huh?
I got a business to run. I gotta kick asses sometimes to make it run right. We had a little argument Freddie and I, so I had to straighten him out.
You straighten my brother out.
And then here again, the complete difference, alright? He now doesn't feel the need to kind of match Mo Green on his tonality, he just goes into a bit of a quieter tone, alright? Kind of a whisper. Whisper is very powerful if you still talk in a way where people can understand what you're saying. People tend to lean in, try to understand what you're saying. It's very, very powerful, okay? Use whispers sometimes, okay? They can be very strong.
He was banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. Players couldn't get a drink at the
Then he kind of, again, the look down. Is just kind of disappointed in himself, submissive. Not a good look.
table. What's wrong with you?
I leave for New York tomorrow.
And he could have indulged in that confrontation right here. Okay, he could have kept arguing with him, but he understood that it's kind of a lost point. All right, his brother right here, the submissive one, didn't told him about that, so he just, instead of arguing about it and kind of trying to stay at this point, he just completely changes the topic. All right, very, very powerful thing to do. Okay, big men dictate where the people around them in the conversation are talking about. You can just see how he completely flips the conversation, talking about something else what he finds necessary right now. Powerful stuff.
Think about a price.
And then pretty much just finishes the conversation, right? Mo Green, completely emotional, just anger in person, alright? He just stands up and leaves. He noticed that this conversation is going nowhere. He pretty much lost the point about his brother because he's just submissive loser, alright? Let's be honest here. And then he just leaves. He ends the conversation. He values his time, alright? He feels like he's wasting his time here. Big men don't like to, have their time wasted. They value their time. So always keep that in mind. Value your time, alright? If people disrespect your time, they disrespect you. Then you shouldn't feel the need to respect them at all, alright?
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders.
Wait a minute, Mo. I get an idea.
Then he just, no answer, alright? He just screamed across the whole room. Michael Corleone doesn't care, alright? The conversation is over. He finished it. Why keep talking now, alright? There's no need. He finished the conversation already.
Tom, I'm your other consigliere, and you can talk to the Don, you can explain...
Just a minute.
And then here again, you can just instantly see how less of value this guy here is. All right, instantly gets interrupted, gives him the space now to talk. If you get interrupted, all right, you shouldn't just be like, all right, talk. You talk now, all right. It's usually best just to finish your point, and when you've done, you can be like, okay, now you can talk. But he just lets himself be interrupted. Also, the switch in body language before he was, kind of gesturing up here with his hands, and instantly his hands are now completely clasped, completely stuck to his body, instantly creating less space. You can see how just more nervous and how more insecure he instantly is. Body language tells a lot about this, alright? Before he was kind of like, okay, I'll do this shit for you now. Kind of gesturing up here, taking up space, and then in the second he get interrupted, he instantly breaks down his good body language and just gets insecure again.
Don is semi-retired, and Mike is in charge.
Also, right here, I'm not 100% sure. I think this guy is having his arm here. Might just look like it, but he's just, you can see how confident he is. If this arm is looking like this, it's pretty much the best way to sit on a bank. Alright, just look at the space, okay? Look at the space this guy is taking up. He is fucking confident, alright? That's the definition of confidence. That's how you sit on a bench. That's how you do that shit, alright? He's a confident guy and he shows everyone.
The family business now. Have anything to say?
Also here again, look at the hands of him. Again, clasped together, looking down, submissive. Horrible look. I don't think I need to analyze him anymore. It's just terrible.
Say it to Michael.
Honestly, he just behaves like a little kid, okay? If I would talk to him, I couldn't treat him like an adult, because his body language is childlike, the way he talks is childlike, the way he acts is childlike. You just like a little kid of Mo Green, okay? Doing what Papa says, but doesn't want to, bother him too much.
Mike, you don't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that!
Fredo.
And then here again, a complete emotional. And then on the other hand, Michael Corleone just staying cool. Just how also the time he waited after his brother said something is just very dominant. Okay, just have a look.
Mike, you don't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that!
Yeah, right there. Look how long he waits now.
Fredo.
That was at least 3 seconds. He doesn't feel the need to instantly answer. He's the big man. He's not emotional affected by it. He stays cool, and then he just talks slowly. Look at the pace he's talking right now. He takes his time. He moves at his own pace. He talks at his own pace. Okay, that's very, very big man of him.
You're my older brother, and I love you. But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
Talks slowly at his own pace, big man. Alright, I hope you learned something. That was very powerful stuff from Michael Corleone, real mafia boss. Till next vid, stay big man.